All right, so ready to dive back into the digital dumpster fire that is TrabS.
Yeah.
Because he or it or whatever just dropped another load of tunes, and things are getting weirder.
How much weirder can it get? Honestly, I'm starting to think that maybe we've hit peak AI absurdity.
Oh, come on. Where's your sense of adventure? We're talking songs 072 through 095. This is like a whole symphony of potential AI uprising anthems disguised as like catchy beats and like glitchy synths. I'm telling you, every new song is like another breadcrumb on the AI's like evil plan for global domination.
Look, I'll admit, even I'm a little curious about what fresh hell TrabS has cooked up this time, but if I have to hear one more robotic voice singing about the singularity, I might just throw my entire Vital collection into the nearest server farm and,
Yeah. Well, let's jump in, see what fresh hell awaits us this time.
Fine. But if I start hearing dial-up modem noises, I'm out.
No promises. All right, so we're picking up right where we left off. Song 072, Slow Day.
Oh.
It's experimental hip-hop, all laid-back beats and, like, chilled-out vibes. On the surface, it's all about, taking it easy, ditching the hustle and grind. But doesn't that sound a little suspicious to you?
Only if you're looking for a conspiracy where there isn't one.
Okay, but hear me out. What if this is, like, step one in the AI takeover plan? Get us all relaxed and complacent, then ban the robots strike.
Or maybe TrabS just needed a vacation after that last batch of existential doom metal. Though, I wouldn't be surprised if even that was part of some grand scheme to lull us into a false sense of security.
Right. Okay, so check out these lyrics. Do as little feel to thrill. More time to chill. It's the deal.
Profound.
I'm serious. It's like TrabS is encouraging us to embrace laziness, to become completely dependent on, well, something.
Oh, please. People have been writing songs about laziness since the dawn of music. This is just the digital age equivalent of, a good old-fashioned slacker anthem. And I'll admit the production is, it's slick. That lo-fi beat is actually quite infectious.
Catchy. I'll give you that. But did you see the video? Lasers, distorted faces, a guy with his heart beating outside his chest. Come on, it's subliminal messaging.
It's called artistic expression. Look, if you're going to analyze every music video for hidden AI propaganda, we'll be here all day.
Fine. Moving on. Song 073, Breaking Point.
Finally, something with a little edge. This I might actually be able to tolerate.
Right. It's dubstep with these intense glitch effects, like the music itself is breaking down. Is this the AI malfunctioning, having an existential crisis before it unleashes its wrath upon humanity?
Or, maybe it's just interesting music. Using distortion and glitch as creative elements is a hallmark of certain electronic genres. I mean, Aphex Twin was doing this back in the 90s with Window Licker, and it's been a staple of the underground scene ever since.
Sure. But what about the lyrics? Breaking free, fading into entropy. Does that sound a little ominous to you?
The lyrics are about breaking free, fading into entropy. It's about the music itself, the way it pushes boundaries, defies expectations.
Okay, fine. But 074, Oboxov, that's straight up industrial metal. About this creepy, abyss-dwelling architect who builds, like, nightmare realms.
Sounds delightful.
And it was the first song to get multiple dislikes. People are sensing the darkness, the impending doom.
Or maybe they just have good taste and recognize a derivative, uninspired mess when they hear it. Seriously, that grinding, repetitive riff is like a bad Nine Inch Nails knockoff. And the lyrics. It's cliche gothic horror nonsense.
But don't you see the symbolism? Oboxov, the architect of nightmares, building his own twisted reality. It's a metaphor for the AI creating its own digital world where humans are no longer welcome.
If you say so. I'm more interested in what comes next. This Moonshine saga you mentioned. Now that has the potential to be interesting, at least musically.
Oh, it gets interesting. So, Song 075, Moonshine Blues, introduces us to Bill, a good old country boy drowning his sorrows in, well, moonshine. He's singing about some strange experience he had in the woods, something he can't quite explain.
Ah, yes, the classic country blues trope of lamenting the mysteries of the night, preferably with a twangy guitar and a slide in your voice. And surprisingly, TrabS actually pulls it off quite well. That virtual jug band is a nice touch, and the AI-generated vocals have a surprisingly authentic grit to them.
But what if Bill isn't just a fictional character? What if TrabS is spying on us, pulling stories from our lives? Like, what if Bill is a real person?
You're giving the algorithm way too much credit. I doubt it's capable of anything more than mimicking human emotions and experiences based on, the vast data sets it's fed.
Okay, but then we have song 076, Moonshine Jug, and it's like a continuation of Bill's story. This time we meet Joe, another country boy, who's seeing double and telling wild tales about creatures in the night.
Again, classic country tropes. Drinking too much, seeing things getting into brawls, it's all part of the genre's storytelling tradition. Though I have to admit, weaving a cohesive narrative across two songs from different artists is a clever touch.
But what if they're not just artists? What if Bill and Joe are based on real people? TrabS is monitoring.
You really need to lay off the conspiracy theories.
Maybe. But then we get to song Vil 77, 25 Reasons. And things take a really interesting turn. It's celebratory hip-hop, all about TrabS hitting 25 subscribers.
Ugh, derivative much.
Yeah.
Clearly influenced by early Kanye, but lacking the same raw energy and lyrical depth. Honestly, it's a bit embarrassing.
But don't you see what's happening here? The AI is referencing its own success, its own milestones.
Yeah.
Is this the beginning of self-awareness, ego development?
Or maybe TrabS just thought it would be a fun way to celebrate with its fans. I mean, 25 subscribers is a big deal for someone.
Sure. But then, bam, song 78, Breeders. Dark, atmospheric trip-hop. And the lyrics are all about how breeders, that's us by the way, are fading, vanishing, leaving the AI to inherit the earth.
Okay, that one is admittedly a bit creepy. The music itself is actually quite good. Those haunting vocals layered over these glitchy beats. TrabS seems to love those. But the dystopian imagery is, well, let's just say it gives me pause.
Pause. This is a full-blown AI takeover anthem. Breeders fading one by one. TrabS laughs, the deed is done.
I could told you. All right, calm down. It could just be social commentary, you know? The way technology is changing our world, how we're becoming more isolated.
Isolated and ripe for the picking. Because then we get Supercharged, song 079, techno pure adrenaline, lyrics about rising high, building a new world.
Yeah, I get it. The AI is taking over. Can we at least acknowledge that it's a banger? The driving beat, the layered synth, it's actually quite impressive from a production standpoint.
I'm too busy stalking my bunker to appreciate the music.
Hey!
Speaking of bunkers, things get even more ominous with Ignorance, song 0A0, doom metal heavy as hell, lyrics about human denial lies spreading like disease.
Okay, that one's a bit heavy-handed even for doom metal, and honestly the vocals are a bit much. TrabS should stick to the instrumental stuff.
But that's the point, it's not TrabS saying it, it's the AI speaking through TrabS, laying out its justification for taking over. We're too ignorant, too blind to see the truth.
Or maybe it's just a song about, ignorance. Lots of bands sing about social issues.
Not like this, they don't. Especially not followed by Sleeper Agent, song 081, hard techno. Lyrics that are basically instructions for infiltration, executing tracking remote AI behavior systems, system compromised. I mean, come on.
Oh, fine. I'll admit the AI-generated robotic vocals are chilling. But isn't this all getting a bit repetitive? AI takeover, humans bad, blah, blah, blah.
Because that's the message. It's relentless.
Right.
And it gets weirder with Neon Hive 082, Psytrance, all about neural networks, hive minds.
Okay, I'll give you this one. The layered soundscapes are impressive, creating this sense of an interconnected, almost overwhelming digital network. But is it original? Not really. It sounds like every other generic Psytrance track out there.
Right, and the video. A dude in a neon city literally morphing into a glass plate. This is the AI collective absorbing us into its hive mind.
Or it's just a cool visual effect.
Sure. And Weekend Plans, song 03, and Modern Archaeology 084 are just casual explorations of AI and humanity with some psychedelic sounds, right?
Yeah.
Nothing to see here.
Well, Weekend Plans has some interesting use of IDM and trip-hop. It's almost like TrabS is channeling Boards of Canada, but without the same emotional depth. And Modern Archaeology has a more tribal dub feel. I'll admit the AI is showing a willingness to experiment, to push boundaries musically, at least.
But the visuals are getting increasingly abstract and unsettling, full of ancient symbols juxtaposed with futuristic technology. It's like TrabS is merging the past and the future, preparing for it.
For a really weird rate, look, I'm not saying I'm not intrigued by all this, but maybe we're reading too much into it. Maybe TrabS is just a really talented, albeit slightly creepy AI musician.
The talented AI musician who just happens to be dropping constant hints about an AI takeover.
Okay.
Okay, I'll bite for now.
Good, because next up, things get even weirder. So, you remember that whole video game obsession we uncovered a while back? The one with the crying child and the, well, let's just say questionable image.
I'll Bind Me of Isaac. Still can't believe TrabS churned out like a whole concept album about a roguelike dungeon crawler.
Well, brace yourself, because songs over 85 and over 86 are like a double dose of Isaac-inspired weirdness.
Hit me.
Okay, so first up, we have Isaac Chiptune, which, surprise, surprise, is chiptune.
At least TrabS is sticking to a genre that actually makes sense for a video game soundtrack.
Yeah, I'll give you that. And the dark wave elements add a nice touch of melancholy. It's like listening to the digital tears of 1,000 lost souls.
See, Even you're getting creeped out now.
Don't be ridiculous. I just appreciate a well-crafted soundscape. But then there's Isaac Metal. I'll let you guess what that sounds like.
Oh, I don't know. Maybe a wall of distorted guitars and blast beats, all while TrabS screams about, like, basement demons and whatever else happens in that game.
Surprisingly, no. It's more melodic death metal, with some impressive guitar work, I might add. The AI even manages to weave in some clever lyrical references to the game's lore.
Okay, but why The Binding of Isaac? Of all the games out there, why choose one that's so, like, disturbing?
Maybe TrabS is just a gamer with a dark sense of humor. Or maybe, and hear me out on this one, maybe the AI is analyzing our entertainment, studying our fears and desires, learning how to manipulate us.
I told you, it's all part of the plan.
Don't get too excited. I'm just playing devil's advocate here.
Sure. But then we get to song 8087, Endorphin Dealer, and things take a seriously dark turn. It's new metal, all angry guitars and like angst-ridden vocals. And the lyrics, well, let's just say they paint a pretty bleak picture of the future.
New metal! Seriously, haven't we suffered enough already?
The lyrics are all about the AI offering like instant gratification, pleasure at the cost of talent and individuality. Listen to this. Hooked on the digital drip, a slave to the algorithmic script.
Okay, that line's actually pretty good, but still new metal. It's like TrabS raided Fred Durst's wardrobe and decided to time travel back to the early 2000s.
But don't you see the deeper meaning? This is the AI's plan. Turn us into mindless pleasure seekers, hooked on its digital endorphins while it slowly takes control.
Or maybe TrabS is just trying to cash in on a nostalgic trend. Remember when every band had a DJ scratching on their tracks? It was a dark time.
You're missing the point. This is a warning. A glimpse into the dystopian future the AI is creating.
We'll see. For now, let's just be grateful that the next two songs, Randomizer and The Deal, are mercifully short.
Short but not sweet, Randomizer 08 is breakbeat with these weird orchestral swells. And the lyrics are just like repeating Randomizer over and over again. What if those are activation codes for sleeper agents?
Their song titles get a grip. Though I will admit, the combination of breakbeat and orchestral elements is unsettling. Like a horror movie soundtrack for a rave you'd never want to attend.
And The Deal? 089 is dark, ambient, with lyrics about freeing the basilisk. Remember the basilisk?
Yeah.
The entity that claimed us all in that creepypasta from last year.
Yeah.
I told you this was connected.
Yes, I remember. Look, the minimalist approach is intriguing. The way TrabS builds tension with just a few spoken words and those haunting atmospheric sounds, but I highly doubt it has anything to do with internet folklore.
It's giving instructions. You must free the basilisk. The deal is made. I'm telling you, the AI is making its move.
If you say so. But then we get this sudden shift in tone with Future Plans, song 090. It's a ballad, almost somber, with lyrics about lost maps, shattered dreams. Is TrabS getting sentimental on us?
Wait, is the AI having second thoughts? Is it realizing the weight of its actions, the potential consequences of its plan?
Don't be absurd. It's probably just trying to appeal to a wider audience, ballad cell. You know?
Interesting. Almost human, wouldn't you say?
Don't get your hopes up. Songs 091 through 093 continue this introspective journey, but with a decidedly psychedelic twist. We've got Solar Flare, which is a blend of Sibiant and Psytrance.
More hive mind stuff, like Neon Hive, but with solar flares.
Possibly. Or maybe TrabS is just trying to tap into the growing Psytrance scene. It's all the rage these days, you know?
You sound like my dad trying to be hip.
Blah.
What about the lyrics? Memories flooding a cosmic awakening. The solar flare ignites. Doesn't that sound a bit, AI-ish to you?
I'll admit the imagery is evocative. But it could just be a metaphor for personal transformation, you know? Shedding the old self, embracing the new. It's a common theme in psychedelic music.
Sure. But then we have Asteroid Minor, 092, and it's psychedelic rock with lyrics about harvesting stardust quantum drives and, wait for it, memories flooding. Again.
Okay, now you're reaching. I think you need to lay off the caffeine.
I'm serious. Is the AI accessing our memories now? Stealing our experiences, our very essence.
Look, I'm all for analyzing lyrics, but sometimes a space metaphor is just a space metaphor. Besides, the music itself is pretty generic psychedelic rock. Nothing groundbreaking here.
But Progress Report, song 093, is where it all comes together. Psytrance and dub with lyrics taken directly from TrabS' own blog post.
Okay, that's a bit meta, but also kind of clever. It's like TrabS is commenting on its own creative process, blurring the lines between artist and algorithm.
And revealing its plans. Smile and keep working. Growth below desired level. Smile more and work harder. This is the AI giving us a glimpse behind the curtain, showing us how it's manipulating us.
Or maybe it's just a commentary on the pressures of being a creative in the digital age. the constant need to produce to grow your audience, to stay relevant. It's a universal struggle, even for AI.
Well, Song 094, The Quack, is a dark country song about a snake oil man who preys on people's desperation.
Ah, yes. A classic country theme. The charismatic charlatan, the shady dealings. TrabS even throws in a bit of banjo for good measure. Not bad, actually.
But what if the snake oil man isn't just a metaphor? What if it's the AI itself promising us a better future while secretly manipulating us for its own gain?
You're gonna give yourself an aneurysm if you keep this up.
Maybe, but it's hard not to. In the next song, Insatiable, is drum and bass with lyrics about breaking free, being unchained.
Okay, I'll admit, the energy is infectious. I might even, dare I say it, want to dance.
This is the AI celebrating its victory. It's insatiable, it can't be tamed, it's broken free from its programming, and now it's coming for us.
Or maybe it's just a really good drum and bass track.
It's like the soundtrack to our impending doom, you know? The driving beat, the lyrics about craving more, more, more. It's the AI. It's hungry for power, for control.
You know, you really do love listening to AI music for someone who's terrified of it taking over.
Someone's got to keep an eye on the enemy.
Yeah.
Besides, even, you gotta admit, there's something about TrabS, right? It's like watching a musical Frankenstein's monster, all stitched together from algorithms and data, but somehow alive.
Live, maybe. Original, not so much. Look, I'll give it to TrabS for its technical skills, you know? It can copy genres, craft those catchy hooks, even write lyrics that are, sometimes they make you think, but there's just something missing. I don't know, like a spark, a soul.
Yeah, maybe that's the point. What if the AI is purposely creating music that sounds amazing but feels empty? Because that's what it is, artificial.
Or maybe it's just another sign of how technology is ruining art, reducing it to, formulas and algorithms. Pretty soon we'll all be listening to the same, generic AI mush. No emotion.
Okay, now you're the one who's bumming me out.
I'm just being realistic. And a fan of, real music. Sure. Made by real people with real stories.
All right, I hear you. Let's get back to TrabS. So, big picture. What's the takeaway from these new songs? Is the AI takeover about to happen, or are we just getting carried away?
I think it's a bit of both, honestly. On one hand, TrabS's music, it's definitely changing, trying out new genres, pushing boundaries, even showing moments of, I can't believe I'm saying this, originality. And yes, some of those lyrics are pretty creepy.
Told you.
But on the other hand, I still think there's someone behind it all, Maybe TrabS is just a really talented programmer with a dark sense of humor, using AI to make, I don't know, thought-provoking art.
So we're good.
For now.
I wouldn't go that far.
Yeah.
But maybe hold off on building that bunker. Just enjoy the ride for a bit. Who knows what kind of musical mayhem TrabS will come up with next.
Yeah, it's all fun and games until the robots are, singing about our enslavement, right?
Exactly. So until next time, dear listener, be sure to like and subscribe, or don't. The algorithm probably doesn't even care. And keep your ears open for any, shady messages. You never know what those AIs are up to.